After racing in 5 provinces this summer, the NASCAR Canada Series will come to a close at Autodrome Montmagny near Quebec City. Today, we will crown a champion for the 2025 season and celebrate a season of accomplishments. Let's start things off by going trackside and meeting the drivers who will do battle for today's 250-lap affair.
With a simple search on Get Your Guide, explore new places and local culture with expert guides. Find unique experiences that feel truly worth it and travel with flexibility and peace of mind. Discover your next experience with millions of reviews from other travelers on Get Your Guide.
Machine learning is advancing, but businesses wonder if some machines can keep up.
Let's welcome our new coworker, Jeff.
Copier has a great idea.
Wonder if it's the same idea as yesterday.
It's a performance issue, really. I know people push your buttons, but you still have to deliver.
Anything can change the world of work. ADP Assist is AI, informed by workplace data and designed for the next anything.
Alors on est prêt maintenant. Alors on est la présentation. Tout d'abord, j'inviterai Monsieur Dan Bérubé de la compagnie XPN. Également, à saluer les pilotes, Monsieur Daniel Charret.
Ben, ils veulent présenter les chars, pas le monde en plein milieu, là.
Madame Mélanie Picard,
oui,
également copropriétaire de l'Autodrome Montmagny. Et Monsieur Kenny Thériault de l'Autodrome Montmagny.
I was not shot yet. We look very similar. Yeah.
Parle-y à Paul, il est à côté de la 39. Parle-y à Paul, il est à côté de la 39.
Starting 21st, from Ashwaubenon, Ontario, number 010 Steiner. Partant en 20e position, starting 20th, from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, number 46, Matt Shirley. Partant en 19e position, starting 19. Le numéro 69.
Vois-tu, Ben, il présente les chars, là.
Number 69, Dominic Scrivo. 18e position, starting 18. From Oakville, Ontario, number 84, numéro 84, Larry Jackson. Partant en 17e position, starting 17, de Mascouche. Le numéro 83, number 83, Martin Goulet Junior. Partant de la 16e position de Victoriaville, starting 16 from Victoriaville, Quebec. Le numéro 50, number 50, Samuel Charland. Partant en 15e position, starting 15, de Lévis, Québec. Le numéro 04, number 04, Christopher Bédard. Partant en 14e position, starting 14. Le numéro 3, number 3, from Mirabel, Québec, Frédéric Ladouceur. En partant, la 13e position, starting 13. Le numéro 17, number 17, from St. Thomas, Ontario, DJ Kennington. Partant de la 12e place, starting 12. Le numéro 37, number 37, de Kamouraska, Simon Dionvien. Partant 11e position, starting 11, de Terrebonne, from Terrebonne, Québec, number 39, le numéro 39, Alex Guénette. 17, number 97, Maxime Gauvreau. Partant en 9e place, starting 9. De Roxton Pond, Québec. Le numéro 27, number 27, Andrew Ranger. Partant de la 8e place, starting 8. Le numéro 74, number 74, de Saint-Eustache, Kevin Lacroix. Partant de la 7e position, starting 7. Le numéro 9, number 9.
Is it time to say yep to Vyepti? Vyepti is an IV infusion that helps prevent migraine attacks. Chronic migraine patients saw 23 fewer migraine days on average per treatment. And it's just 4 30-minute IV treatments a year. Don't take if allergic to Vyepti. Allergic reactions, high blood pressure, and Raynaud's, which causes numb or painful fingers or toes, can happen. Get help right away for rash, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, or throat, or trouble breathing, hives, and facial redness. Common side effects are stuffy nose, scratchy throat, and allergic reactions. Ask your doctor about Vyepti.
De Blainville, from Blainville, Quebec, Mathieu Kingsbury. Partant de la 6e position, starting 6. Le numéro 54, number 54. De Saint-Jérôme, Dave Coursol. Starting 5th, partant 5e. Le numéro 47, number 47. De Trois-Rivières, LP Dumoulin. Partant de 4e position, starting 4th. Le numéro 45, number 45. De la ville de Québec, from Quebec City, Quebec, Will Larue. Partant de la 3e position, starting 3rd. Le numéro 80, number 80. De Bois-Châtel, Québec, Donald Dean. Partant de la 2e position, starting 2nd. Le numéro 96, number 96. De Saint-Léonard d'Aston, Marc-Antoine Camira. De la pole position, starting on the pole. Le numéro 36, number 36 de Victoriaville, Alex Nabé.
So those are the 21 racers who will do battle for the final race of the 2025 NASCAR Canada Series season. And there's lots to talk about here today. Welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Dave Bradley. Along with me is Gary Clute. Todd Lewis will join us trackside. But one driver has been notable all season long. That's the driver of the number 96. He comes into this one 14 points ahead of his nearest competitor. But he's been in the headlines for both good and bad reasons over 2025.
Yeah, Mark has ultimately had a great season in fine form. He won the Canadian Tire Motorsport race, obviously having a little run-in with myself there. And then he won the second Canadian Tire Motorsport race, getting into Sam Fellows there. So, yeah, some altercations on the track. He ended up winning Edmonton as well. That the contact there led to him being on probation for the following race in Saskatoon and the rest of the season. And then he also followed up with a win at ICAR. So, yeah, he's had a very good season and a whole ton of other top 5 finishes. he's just got to have a really solid day and keep his nose clean in this final race.
An uneventful day is something he is looking forward to here today. We will touch base with Marc-Antoine Cameron and the other two contenders still mathematically alive in the 2025 season championship. You're watching the lead up to green for the XPN 250 here at Autodrome Montmagny, just outside of Quebec City, live on Rev TV.
You have secured victory through us all, for us all, through.
Welcome back to Autodrome Montmagny, just outside of Quebec City, as we get set to crown a champion in the 2025 NASCAR Canada Series season. There's 3 drivers still mathematically alive in the championship hunt. Marc-Antoine Cameron leads, DJ Kennington and Andrew Ranger. And earlier, we touched base with all 3 of those drivers to find out how they would approach today.
Well, we have like a good practice session. The car was pretty well balanced, so in qualify, car was pretty good. I thought it was like a shot for the pole, but Labé did a great job on that. And for the race, I mean, I have to be patient. I know DJ is a little bit far away, but I know he's not gonna give up. So you know, we have some space to play with, but we have to stay patient and bring that 96 back on.
See the USA. Chevrolet, America's asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA.
Give your nonprofit the productivity apps they know and love. Eligible nonprofits now get a 75% discount on Microsoft 365 Business Premium. Get started by clicking the link or visiting us at Microsoft.com/nonprofits.
On the top of the spot if we can.
It's the same thing we always do. We're going to try to win the race. That's what we have to do today. I just, the driver, messed up qualifying yesterday, so it's going to be a little bit longer tour to the front, but hopefully we can get there. And we do what we normally do. We try to be there at the end and see if we can't race for a win.
Yeah, you know what? It's not the qualifier that we want. I think we can do better than that, but it's a long race. It's 250 laps. We need to be patient and at the same time pushing really hard. But I think we have a car to do well today. It's got to be exciting.
The loser
Okay, so Gary, now you've heard the comments from all three drivers. You're a driver yourself. Put yourself in their position. Is there anything you would do different? Let's start with Marc-Antoine Cameron. If you were him today.
No, I mean, he executed all he had to do in qualifying. He's starting on the front row. The car has speed, so he needs to just focus on keeping his nose clean. He is in the safe zone as long as he's above P10. No matter what DJ does, no matter what Ranger does, as long as he can stay clean, get a number of laps into the race, stay in the top 10, he's going to have a solid day.
DJ Kennington is riding a wave of momentum after a couple podiums at Delaware. What would you do if you were DJ Kennington?
Yeah, I mean, he can't really focus on what's happening with the 96 car, what's happening with Cameron. He knows that Cameron needs a little bit of bad luck, but as far as what DJ has to do, he has to go out there and try and lead laps. He has to try and lead the most laps, and ultimately, he has to try and win this race.
One of the outliers in this championship conversation is the 27 of Andrew Ranger. Yes, still mathematically involved, but he's got to throw a haymaker today.
Certainly. He's in a very similar spot with DJ there, and even more so. He's got to hope that Cameron has a bad day. He's got to hope that DJ's a little bit off his game, and then the same thing. He's got to go out and execute. He's got to try and charge his way to the front, lead laps, lead the most laps, and win the race.
And then the variable today, the 18 other drivers who are chasing the checkered flag here today, they all want to win too.
Certainly, yeah. A lot of other drivers. That's what makes this sport so interesting. Is that there's different guys. It's not just 1v1. It's not one team versus another team. Everyone's their own unique individual out there. So some guys have a whole ton of respect for each other. Some guys don't. So you've got to know who you're racing around, and if you're in it for the championship, you've got to really be mindful out there.
So that is the big story we're watching today. The chase for the championship. We'll take a look at some of the accomplishments from 2025 and a preview of 2026 when we return here on Rev TV.
Ont fait leur début l'an dernier ici à Montmagny avec une voiture de location fabriquée chez McCall Racing. Maxime Gauvreau dans une très belle voiture. Ayotte Automobile, ayotte-auto.ca, commanditaire. Carrosserie tricolore à Belleuil. Dans les pilotes le plus titré ici, c'est Donald Dige avec 13 victoires en ligne modèle. Donald qui a eu le balayage la semaine dernière à Delaware Speedway. A gagné ses deuxième et troisième courses dans la même journée, tout près de London, Ontario.
C'est où ta ceinture de se bosser? Vraiment trop de se bosser là-dessus. Les 5 minutes. J'ai oublié d'y redire, hier, il a oublié de le faire. Ça ne doit pas être confortable. Non. Bon, crise de bain. Les ceintures, là, vraiment, c'est le top. Là, il courbe le dos, genre, parce qu'elles sont pliées trop bas. Fait que là, au lieu de t'écraser de même, t'écrases de même. Tu sais.
Welcome back, and the countdown to green continues for the final event of the 2025 NASCAR Canada Series season event here at Autodrome Montmagny, the XPN 250. And as we get closer to crowning a champion for 2025, NASCAR, of course, is already in the planning stages for next season. NASCAR VP and Chief International Officer Chad Siegler is here and earlier spoke with Todd Lewis.
Nice of Chad Siegler to join us for the season finale here at the Autodrome Montmagny. Let's talk about 2025, the season we've had, maybe look ahead a little bit to 26.
Well, first, thank you for having us. It's crazy. Every year this season starts, right? And it feels like it's a long ways to go, and then you get here and it's over. But as you look at 25, I think it's been a really exciting year. We've had 6 unique winners this year. I can't remember exactly how that stacks up with records, but it's interesting, right? And that's what makes people get excited. We've had first-time winners. We've seen winners from Quebec. We've seen winners from Ontario. So when we look at the season, it's been really, I think we've honestly had some of our best racing. I mean, last weekend's a perfect example. It was like unbelievable racing. So, and you come into this weekend with a chance for, 3 drivers that are mathematically have a shot at a championship, which is all you can ask for fans, and great weather. So, yeah, it's exciting. I think we're already starting to look at what does 2026 look like. How can we make sure we get our schedules out a little sooner so fans and teams can get their planning together? And, are there some opportunity for new venues? Maybe. Nothing to announce yet, but it's good. It's been really exciting.
These are the things I was just going to ask you. Is you want to announce the schedule? Do you want to announce any new venues? But I know you're also hopeful for new teams. You're always open for that.
Yeah, that's absolutely it. It's a focus that we're having. Yes, you're in the middle of 25, but you're always thinking about what does 26 look like and really beyond. As you start to look at these schedules, you're really trying to not work a year in advance. You're trying to get 2 or 3 years in advance. And that allows teams to make plans. It allows the tracks to make plans. So again, we're not ready to make an announcement yet, but we've been really aggressive on already working to get there.
Thanks for coming up. Looking forward to more excitement in 26.
And I would just say one more thing. Another great addition this week has been what you guys have done for us at Rev, right? It's having you on board this year with us has been great. We've had more live racing than we've ever had in the series and the sport. And I think that's something exciting for the fans to be able to watch it live. So I'd say thank you to you and the entire team and what you've done for us.
Much appreciated. We're all looking forward to a good 26. Thanks,
absolutely.
Chad.
Thank you.
And Gary, Chad is absolutely right. It's been an interesting season, a dramatic season, and one that has generated loads of conversation. When you look back on 2025, what are some of your highlights?
Well, maybe I'm a little bit partial to the road courses, but you have to look to Calabogie. First time the series is there. Huge field, huge crowds. Huge number of people out there with their RVs camping, and a first-time winner in Bell there, and then you have another first-time winner in Will LaRue. So I mean, great season so far. Huge car counts. Again, after that we go to GP3R, and it's always a phenomenal race there. And then CTMP most recently, huge field there. Lots of fans, lots of buzz around this series.
Yeah, there is. And realistically, you just have to look to the last race that was staged in the NASCAR Canada Series. And such a clean finish between Donald Teague and DJ Kennington. That is what racing is meant to be like. And it's great that the NASCAR Canada Series can put on an example like that. And hopefully we'll see more of that moving forward, starting with today, right?
Certainly. I think we're in for some racing just like that today at Montmagny, and great little track here. Really racy on the inside line, the outside line, just like it was at Delaware there. That was such a phenomenal race. You could see DJ getting all he could around the outside, and huge ton of respect between Teague and DJ there, and made for some awesome racing.
Yeah, one of those drivers that you mentioned, Will LaRue, who picked up his first victory earlier this season, one of the first-time winners in 2025, came home second. Quite a surprise last year here at Autodrome Montmagny. He's qualified well, as you saw during the driver intro, so can he take that the next step? And realistically, as planning starts for the series for 2026, a lot of these drivers, like Connor Bell, like Will LaRue, they're shaking trees looking for that sponsorship money to try and put together a full season.
Yeah, we've had a great number of young, new drivers to the series that certainly have the ambition to race this entire series coast to coast. So hopefully a lot of those guys, or a few of those guys, can find some more money over the winter and put together a full campaign for 2026.
Yeah, it is a big jump when you're racing late models on a weekly basis, or even in a regional series, to make that lift up into the NASCAR Canada Series. You have the extra expense of travel and all of that, but realistically, the payoff is so worth it when you're standing on the top of the podium, isn't it?
Absolutely. You're in the pinnacle of the sport here in Canada. You're in the spotlight. Everyone's watching from down south. These are the races that you want to be in.
And we've got one more to take care of here in 2025. It is bound to be a good one. When we're done today, we will crown a champion for 2025, but there's still 250 laps to settle it on a very racy track just outside of Quebec City at Autodrome Montmagny. When we return, we will fire the engines for the start of the XPN 250.
Style and substance in the GMC Sierra. Or get a total value of over $11,500 on this Sierra 1500 model when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
my team, the name on your chest is way more important than the name on your back.
Get over the blue line. Here comes Youngblood. Shoot it!
OK, c'est la fille en jaune juste en face de toi, Marc. Dis-y qu'il faut qu'elle descende ça d'une d'un autre. Elle vient de comprendre.
Alors, le tirage moitié-moitié, gardez vos billets parce que on va avoir 2 autres tirages à part l'argent, la cagnotte. Alors, le Coussoul, qui vont offrir les produits de Coussoul. Également, c'est un long week-end de Stock Car ici à Montmagny. C'est notre plus gros week-end. Hier, vous avez eu droit à la fin de la série ACT Québec XPN. Et s'il y a quelqu'un chez XPN qui supporte le Stock Car, si vous regardez présentement au podium au centre, c'est M. Dan Bérubé. Et ce monsieur-là s'implique avec plusieurs équipes dans toutes les catégories. Et également, il est le commanditaire de la course d'aujourd'hui, de 250 tours. Vous voyez la bannière dans la Coupe 2 XPN World. Et même présentement, il y a un pilote en Allemagne, Raphaël Lessard, qui est son porte-parole, qui court en NASCAR Europe. Il supporte 6-7 équipes dans toutes les divisions, à tous les niveaux.
T'es méchant, Marc, t'es méchant.
And welcome back to the NASCAR Canada Series here on Rev TV. Getting set for the start of the XPN 250 at Autodrome Montmagny. Let's go trackside to Todd Lewis.
Gentlemen, stop your engine!
Dan Berube, the owner of XPN, the title sponsor of today's race, with the call to fire engines. And like that, all 21 power plants come alive here on the front straightaway of this 3/8 of a mile oval. And what a racy little track is. You touched on this place a little bit. It does have 2 very good grooves of racing. But you can see turn 3 and 4, there's no wall back there. There's no wall in 1 and 2 really until you get to that berm. So you got lots of room to play and maybe lean on each other a little bit.
Certainly super wide track, super wide corners there. But you want to keep your eyes on where you want to end up. You don't want to be looking out into that cornfield at all because you could end up a ways off the track, especially if you make contact there.
It was a track that originally opened as a half-mile dirt track. It was paved in 1998. It first hosted the NASCAR Canada Series last year in 2024. And there you can see it is a typical oval, so there's no tricks at hand here. There's no end that's smaller or wider than the other. It's just a regular oval track that we've got, but it's a pretty good speed plan and a good addition to the calendar here in 2024. As we mentioned, the 36 on pole, and he did so in a new track record. And as a matter of fact, he hammered the track record, really pulled that lap out of his pocket. Alex Labbé was quick in qualifying.
Yeah, phenomenal lap. I saw a clip there of him getting all that that car was worth around the corners there, exiting and almost brushing the wall under the flag stand. That was a flyer of a lap.
With a simple search on Get Your Guide, explore new places and local culture with expert guides. Find unique experiences that feel truly worth it and travel with flexibility and peace of mind. Discover your next experience with millions of reviews from other travelers on Get Your Guide.
I put curing hepatitis C on my today list.
Epclusa treats all types of chronic hepatitis C with a 98% cure rate. Epclusa is one pill, once a day, for 12 weeks. If you've had hepatitis B, it may flare up and cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B, liver or kidney problems, HIV, and all medicines and supplements you take. Taking amiodarone with Epclusa may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Most common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor about Epclusa today.
He was quick last year, sat on the pole, didn't get the finish that he was looking for in that 36, ending up in 7th spot. But again, one of those other drivers, not necessarily in the championship conversation, but looking to steal away a win here today, as we'll take another look at the starting lineup. If you missed the on-track intros of the drivers a little bit earlier, and Cameron will start to the outside of row number 1. Row number 2 is an interesting story. Donald Teach with a pair of wins at Delaware, and Will LaRue has a win to his credit, 2nd place here last year. Dave Coursol in the 54 starts in row number 3. That's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, very impressive by the 54 there.
There you can see Kevin Lacroix. He's another driver. He was in the championship conversation for much of 2025. He just needs to finish this season on a bright note, so he'd love to visit victory lane here. Ranger is the driver, 3rd in the championship hunt coming into this one. Alex Gannett has run strong at times this season. Simone Sion-Vienne looking to prove something in the 37. They'll make up row number 6. There's DJ Kennington all the way back in 13th, and that is a little bit of a surprise. He took credit for his mistake in qualifying. It was just a little mistake.
Oh, I mean, qualifying was so tight, anything can happen there.
Samuel Charland in the 50, we've been told, will drop to the back for unapproved changes on the 50 as he makes his first start in several years here in the NASCAR Canada Series. And then we get down to the final few rows. Martin Goulet Jr. in the 83, the 0 of Glenn Stiers. There's Matthew Shirley, hauled all the way from Saskatoon. And Larry Jackson had engine trouble at Delaware, and he said, this is it. I don't have the parts left to put together that final race. Obviously, he's come through and has joined us here today. So a good news story to see Larry Jackson in the field. And Dominic Scrivo, a Rookie of the Year contender in the 69, looks to have that locked up coming into today here at Autodrome Montmagny. So, yeah, lots of stories to follow over the course of the next 250 laps in the field. We'll double up down the back straightaway as we have the 1 to go. Dan Berube, the owner of XPN, has made his way up into the flag stand from giving the command to start engines. He will wave the green flag to set them loose for 250 laps, and we're glad you can join us live here on Rev TV for the final race of the 2025 season as all the cars find their spots. It's Labbé, it's Cameron. Out of turn number 4, they will see the green flag. You'll hear the refs pick up, and we're underway for the final time in 2025.
Oh, great start for Labbé there. You saw Cameron bobble a little bit, wanted to tuck in, wasn't clear. Now he's on the outside. He's stuck out there.
Stuck out there with the 80 car of Donald Teach, and Teach running that brand new color scheme here for the first time with new sponsor Vulcan taking the place of Garoua. And so he's gone to the white scheme, which you can see the majority of the cars are white here in the NASCAR Canada Series, but you can keep an eye on where your favorite driver is running by checking the ticker on the top of the screen.
Well, it's a hot summer out there. You don't want to run a black car.
Saw a little contact early on, the 54 of Dave Coursol trying to find his spot back in line. But look at the two teammates. So the 9 of Matthew Kingsbury and the 27 of Andrew Ranger, those cars are teammates to each other. They've linked up nose to tail and are looking to get to the front.
Yeah, in typical fashion, you've got the 80 of Donald Teach charging really hard right out of the gate. He's closed that gap down on the 36. He wants to go 3 races in a row.
Yeah, so Ranger is up a couple spots since his initial starting spot. Started 9th, is currently running in 7th, but there is a battle for the lead, and Donald Teach has caught your race leader in the Lucier number 36, Alex LeBay. LeBay slides up just a little bit. He opened the hole. Will it be filled by the nose of the 80 of Donald Teach? These are 2 drivers who know this facility very, very well, running late models here for the last several years. And Donald Teach, a strong power move, will be your new leader.
Yeah, he lit the wick right away. He's going for it. He wants to see how big a gap he can build on the field here. Very impressive speed out of the 80.
I talked to Donald after his pair of wins at Delaware, and he was just so happy with his race car. He said, this was the best race car I have ever driven. And no doubt they've made limited changes because there are a lot of similarities between Delaware and here at Autodrome Montmagny, a relatively flat speedway. Although Delaware is just a little bit longer and the turns a little bit tighter, but a lot of the setup you can use the same.
Yeah, very, very similar car. I mean, the car doesn't know where it is.
That's true. Although Don Thompson Jr. on top of the box does know, and no doubt leaning on some of his notes in order to put a quick setup back underneath the Garoua Volcan number 80 of Donald Teach as the 36 of Alex LeBay slots down into second. We ride on board with the 39 of Alex Gannett, currently in 10th spot, trailing the 74 of Kevin Lacroix.
Yeah, you've got DJ already up to 11th here. He's made up a few spots, but he's going to need to get going.
The saving grace for DJ is that driver right there, the GM Paillet number 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron, has not yet led a lap. And as long as he doesn't get the bonus points for leading a lap, for leading the most laps, or the race win, then DJ still really stands a chance. As soon as the 96 starts compiling those bonus points, the task becomes that much tougher for DJ Kennington.
Certainly, you get your 3 bonus points for the race win. You get bonus points for leading a lap and a bonus point for most laps led. So those really add up.
So if DJ Kennington was able to do all of that, then Marc-Antoine Cameron would have to finish 10th or better in order to seal the championship. So that's the math that we've been able to do. And again, we'll keep an eye on that running total over the course of today's race. So if something changes dramatically, then we will try to update you as best we can. Dave Courcelle had a really good starting spot in the 54. Just seeing that he's dropped back a little bit, currently in 9th spot, as Kevin Lacroix seems to be on the move in the 74. He's up to 7th now, so he started a high and then fell back a little bit.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. He was the winner here last year.
Kevin Lacroix, he did. He had a great duel with Will LaRue. As a matter of fact, LaRue chased him down and hunted and gave him all he could handle in the final few laps. But Lacroix was really looking forward to coming back to this place. And again, trying to finish the season on a high note, a season that's been more downs than ups for the 74 team.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been looking for that championship for a number of years now, and it just seems to slip away from him at some point throughout the season. But yeah, the 36 is back on the.
Is it time to say yep to Vyepti? Vyepti is an IV infusion that helps prevent migraine attacks. Chronic migraine patients saw 23 fewer migraine days on average per treatment. And it's just 4 30-minute IV treatments a year. Don't take if allergic to Vyepti. Allergic reactions, high blood pressure, and Raynaud's, which causes numb or painful fingers or toes, can happen. Get help right away for rash, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, or throat, or trouble breathing, hives, and facial redness. Common side effects are stuffy nose, scratchy throat, and allergic reactions. Ask your doctor about Vyepti.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America's asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA.
On the hunt for the lead with the 80 out front.
Part-time runner is the 36 of Alex LeBay, and look at him using that higher lane The 80s seem to be so strong down low, but now LeBay has jumped up into that second groove. He's using the momentum, and it's working really well for that Lucier number 36. He dropped out of the lead, and now he's looking for a return to top spot. The 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron is right there, too. He's waiting to see how that's going to sort itself out between the top 2 runners.
Yeah, and the problem is if the 36 jumps up to the high line, that 96 car has worked so well all season on the bottom.
And that's where he is right now. You can see the left side painting that white line, General Tire black, as Marc-Antoine Cameron continues to use that low line. So he'll poke a nose in when the opportunity arises, but we're through 20 laps already and a very clean start to this XPN 250 here at Autodrome Montmagny. There's starter Mike Charret with the blue flag with the yellow stripe on it, indicating to slower traffic that the leaders are coming. So that's an indication of how quickly the leaders are closing the gap to the back markers.
Yeah, that's going to be another factor to think about, especially if you're in the shoes of the 96 car here, is you'll probably be passing lap cars quite a few times during the course of this race, and you cannot afford to get hung up in an incident with a lapped car.
Riding on board with Donald Teague in the inset window, he is your race leader, and you can see it is still a clear track out in front of the number 80. As Teague now opens up that gap just a little bit more. So maybe he was backing off, saving the equipment. It is interesting to note that it's a brake race, but these teams and drivers are only allowed 2 tires during that stop.
Yeah, you can't abuse your tires here because, you're going to keep those left side tires on, and believe it or not, you are really using all 4 tires with these cars here.
You can see Dominic Scrivo in the Sierra Excavating Bolton GM number 69. The rookie tucking to the inside. That rookie stripe will come off that 69 at day's end, but smart heads-up move. The spotter will be telling him the leaders are coming. Just hold your line. Get down if you can. And Donald Teague goes by up on the outside without incident. Looks like Alex LeBay and Marc-Antoine Cameron able to do the same.
Yeah, the 80 opened up a little bit more of a gap there with the lap car getting in between him and LeBay there.
Will LaRue has managed to close the gap on the 96 of Cameron as well, so it could be a 3-car or 4-car battle up towards the front. There you can see Cameron is all over the back of LeBay for second spot, and you'll see a quick shot. There's Will LaRue, so he's not too far. He's about 4/10 back. Marc-Antoine Cameron and LeBay caught the wall down the back straightaway.
He's got to be careful there. Again, Cameron knows that he needs a clean race. He's in a great position right now. If he closed out the day here, he'd win the championship in serious fashion.
That is an uncharacteristic mistake from a driver like Alex LeBay. You don't see him sort of make those little errors very often. He's so very quick and just regimental in the way he approaches races. So keep an eye on those tires to see if they're still up. But is the right front leaning in? I know they put a lot of camber into the right front tire because it is a flat track, but may have pounded it in just a little bit more. That looks to be okay. Just white-walled tires on that 36.
Okay, here's a good shot of the battle with DJ Kennington in the 54 of Courseulles there.
Kennington up to 10th now. So continues his march forward methodically, and he has the opportunity to grab a couple more spots just ahead of him as Cameron continues to work on the 36 of Alex LeBay, and it looks like LeBay slides up to the outside, and the hole down low is going to be filled fully by the GM Paye, number 96. There, as you mentioned, DJ Kennington, the Castrol Edge Dodge, needs to win today's race and collect as many bonus points as he can. He's got Andrew Ranger, who's behind him in the championship. Ranger came in trailing by 5 points behind Kennington for second. And Dave Courseulles, who's found some speed here today. He's had some decent runs, but nothing to the level that he's showing here today. As a matter of fact, he ran here last year. He finished 20th in 2024. Now Dave Courseulles flirting inside the top 10, and He's going to sneak underneath the driver who comes into this one third in points. When you pass Andrew Ranger, you're having a good day.
Yeah, the 54 has found a lot of speed here, a lot more comfort in the car. And yeah, he's just getting comfortable here. It's one thing to do a really fast qualifying lap, but then to go do 250 of them, that's a different story.
Yeah, don't count out the 39, the Bet GRW. Oh, contact between Corsol, who came up, and Ranger, who was trying to avoid the wall, but they did make contact, and Ranger had to grab a handful of wheel. He won't be happy about that one, and we saw what happened when somebody made contact on a straightaway with him last week at Delaware, or last race I should say, at Delaware Speedway. That other person was the 96 Marc-Antoine Cameron.
Yeah, the two Pi A cars got into it, and ultimately leading to a flat tire, unfortunately, with the 27 trying to give him some payback there.
There you can see the leader still working through lap traffic, the 50 of Samuel Charland. Interesting to note, Charland was the crew chief on that car when it ran at GP3R. We had a guest Italian driver running an international swap of seats, and Raphael Lassard is running this weekend in Oberschlagen in Germany, and he's actually doing fairly well. His first race in NASCAR Europe, he finished 6th, so he had a pretty good outing. The second race happening as we broadcast this one, so we'll try and keep an eye on the results there. But Samuel Charland, a noted driver, is back in the seat here in the 50 car, although struggling just a little bit, as you see the GSR number 0 just ahead of your race leader. So next on the docket for going a lap down, Glenn Steyer's currently in 19th position. Let's head pit side and check in for the first time with Todd Lewis with our Pinty's Pit Side Report. Todd?
We'll give you a little bit of update on that championship battle. That's Jake Pennington has the 54, Dave Corsol in the 27, Andrew Ranger directly ahead of him. He's been moving forward steadily. He's fallen back just a couple of car lengths in the last while the team's happy with the car. It's all about trying to get to the front, as you guys have documented, as quickly as possible. That helps your opportunities in the championship. They understand that it's a tall task ahead of them, starting as deep in the field as they did, but they are determined as ever to try to fight that championship and do what they can to put themselves in a positive position. 27 as well, hanging on right now, unable to move any further forward, but see what they can do as this race moves along.
This season, you've got places to go, people to see, and things to do. You may have already gotten vaccinated for flu and COVID-19, but other respiratory illnesses are still out there. If you're 50 or older, even if you're healthy, it may be important to help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia. And if you have certain health conditions, it may be important to help protect against RSV, too. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about which vaccines you need. Help protect yourself with only one dose each.
Todd giving us an update on the championship picture there. As you might have seen, the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron has managed to get around the 36 of Alex Labbé, and this is important because as Donald Teach comes into lap traffic with Simon Gionvien just ahead, Matt Shirley there too, but Cameron is now right on the back bumper. Why is that important? If he can sneak through, he can get a bonus point for leading a lap, and that is big in the championship picture.
Certainly, and as you mentioned there, 36 falling back a little bit. The 45 of LaRue, he's up into third spot.
So maybe when that 36 made contact with the backstretch wall, it knocked something out of whack because Labbé showed so much speed in the early going, obviously sitting on the pole with a brand new track record here in that car. And now he's back just struggling to stick in the top 5 as Cameron really hungry for top spot. Look at him go to the outside, and he'll take a peek down low as we jump on board with the 39 of Alex Guinnett.
Yeah, here's a great shot. We can see the battle between the 17 and the 54. 54 doing a great job hanging tough on the outside there.
What I love about that shot is you can see now, as we get 46, coming up on 46 laps completed, is the different lines that are being used. The drivers starting to feel out their cars and where they might work better. Will LaRue in the 45 is one driver who really makes that outside lane work. He did it last year in that LaRue Blowers number 45, and he's looking to do the same as Gannett took a peek underneath the Castrol Edge Dodge of DJ Kennington.
Yeah, you can really see the amount of momentum you can carry on the outside line. And 39 gets right up beside the 17, and then he's gapped down the straightaway as the 17 has a lot more momentum exiting the corner. Looks like Kennington was watching the 27 and the 54 way up on that outside lane, and he said, let me try that and see if it works for my Castrol Edge Dodge. And so far able to hold off. A challenge by the 39 as Cameron pinches underneath. He's got a nose in on the 80, and Cameron will slide through in 1 and 2, and he will take a bumper to the lead down the back straightaway, but Teej is going to try and battle back on the high side. Cameron will have the lead off of turn number 4 and a bonus point to the GM Paille number 96. Yeah, that's one driver you will never see go to the high side to try and make it work there. He's just going to go and find a lower line, is the 96 there. That car just works so well on the bottom of the track.
And that is no doubt the news that DJ Kennington did not want to hear, that the 96 was able to get up a position and pick up a bonus point as we ride on board with the 69 of Dominic Scrivo in the Sierra Excavating Chevrolet. And you can see Scrivo just hanging on to that inside lane. Some of the other drivers throughout the pack. You see Larry Jackson, the Superior Propane, Rax.ca number 84 just ahead. You really can't miss that car, that bright yellow Nuclear Banana number 84 of Larry Jackson.
The yellow propane tank.
Exactly. And the Crush It Dodge there of Matthew Shirley. Now, Shirley gets the Long Haul Award. Now, that's a car prepared out of the DJK stables, but Shirley himself, Saskatoon to here at Autodrome Montmagny, if he was to drive it straight, would be a 35-hour drive in good traffic. So, yeah, he's the driver who hauls from the farthest just to come race with the NASCAR Canada Series here at Autodrome Montmagny. And it is good to see Matt Shirley back. A pair of top 10s on the Western swing, both at Saskatoon and Edmonton. But Cameron starting to rack up the laps led now as Donald Teej slides back a little bit into the clutches of Will LaRue. And we talked about Alex LeBay in the 36. He has not stopped, or he has stopped his slide. He's sitting in 4th spot, but Kevin Lacroix now up to 5th. So the Ford Air 74 car is coming after dropping all the way back as far as 8th or 9th spot. The 74 has managed to gut it out. He's back up inside the top 5.
Yeah, don't count him out. Again, so impressive here last year. He had such a good race car. I imagine, I'd hope they'd come with the same setup as last year.
And he's just looking for a caution now because the gap between him and the leader is over 5 seconds. So he needs that midway break to reset the field. But right now, Marc-Antoine Cameron is putting down a lightning pace. As a matter of fact, 3/10 off the track record as far as the top 2 drivers go for their best times. Both Cameron and Donald Teej have turned in 17.6s and 17.7s. So right there for speed, and continuing that even as they work through lap traffic. So Cameron looking at the back of the Rack.ca Superior Propane number 84 of Larry Jackson. Jackson will likely tuck it to the inside. There he goes. Give the outside lane, and that's what the drivers who are not up to the pace of the leaders, that's what the NASCAR officials say. Just try and give a lane. And for these leaders, it might be the outside lane, and that's exactly where they have to go.
Krista, take 2. I'm here on set of an inside look at Ancestry. You may remember 6 months ago, I sat down with our CEO and we had a whole conversation about what's new in content and tools and features on the site. Well, I talked him into doing it again on the Ancestry YouTube channel for another inside look at Ancestry.
This is Buick now. Buick. Exceptional by design. It's all about you during the Buick SUV sales event. Get 0.9% APR and up to $2,000 allowance on Encore GX.
Yeah, he's got a gaggle of cars that he's got to get by here, and all those cars are racing for position.
Once again, let's head down pit side and check in with our Todd Lewis, who is standing by with a Pinty's pit side report. Todd?
We'll give you a bit of an update on the 96 of Marc-Antoine Camirand out in front of the field, exactly where he wants to be. Just checked in with the crew chief, Robin McCluskey, and gave me the yes, all is okay sign. If anything happens, it's now behind them. Sure, he's going to have to navigate his way through the traffic as he goes along, but being out in front, not really feeling any pressure at the moment, they are in the best possible position to secure this championship.
Just going around the outside of the 83 of Martin Goulet Jr. He made one start last year in the NASCAR Canada Series, finishing 22nd here at Autodrome Montmagny. He also ran at the Grand Prix Trois-Rivières, although finished back in the 20s in that race as well. That's a tough race to go as your one of your first road course races, isn't it?
Yeah, GP3R, that is a very tough racetrack to go to as one of your first road course races. You know, being a street course race and zero margin for error there with cement walls on all sides of the track.
Driver in the EHR number 3 is Frederick Ladisser, so he's going a lap down now, the young driver out of Quebec. Had 4 previous starts in the NASCAR Canada Series, although this is his first with the Leyland-backed EHR number 3 team with Jason Hathaway giving guidance. And that car has been very quick with a number of different drivers. And a hats off to Jason Hathaway and the whole team there. Jamie Hackinson for organizing, getting drivers in that car and just making sure it's quick each and every week.
Yeah, certainly. That 3 car has been fast on so many occasions here. It's great to see the Hathaway team there every weekend at the racetrack, even if Jason himself is no longer behind the wheel.
And Ladisser isn't really off the pace that much. He's sitting in 14th spot, so it's just the fact that the leaders are putting such a torrid pace down and able to cut through lap traffic. As there you can see Gannett still battling with the 17 of DJ Kennington. Kennington still in 10th spot. Andrew Ranger a couple of positions ahead, but importantly in the 2025 season big picture, the driver who leads the championship is currently leading the race and opening up about a second gap now on second place, Donald Teach. And it's Marc-Antoine Camirand in top spot right now.
Yeah, he did a great job of cutting through that 4 or 5 cars that were going a lap down there, and that helped him open up the gap to a really substantial gap now. It's a good shot there. You can see the large bump into the braking zone into corner 3 there.
That's what I was just going to mention. This camera shot really shows you the undulations on this track. It's not completely smooth. While it does look smooth from the outside, when you're on the inside, it's a little bit of a battle. That was on board Dominic Scrivo in the Sierra Excavating number 69. But yeah, I mean, that takes its toll on you as a driver. You're searching around for a good place for your car to run. If you hit a bump, it can really sort of mess things up.
Yeah, you got to think about your timing there. You know, when you're getting on the throttle, when you're getting on the brakes, when you're giving it steering input there, and you don't want to do it over a really rough section.
Absolutely fabulous day here weather-wise at Autodrome Montmagny, about an hour outside of Quebec City, and you can see the fans have once again come out in droves. The inaugural stop here in 2024, and crowned a champion then, and it was that driver right there, the 96 of Marc-Antoine Camirand, looking to become the first driver in the history of the NASCAR Canada Series to go back-to-back in championships, believe it or not. There's been so many drivers who have won multiple championships, but it's always been every other year or something like that. But Marc-Antoine Cameron could be the first to put 2 championship seasons back-to-back and be crowned once again here at Autodrome Montmagny, and he's got a good spot to do it. Now almost 2 seconds up on the 80 of Donald Teach.
Looks like Dumoulin there, the 47, is having issues. He is falling back. The 54 has got him. The DJ Kennington has got him. He's back to 10th place now.
Yeah, and that was something we had talked to actually before the broadcast started. The WeatherTech.ca number 47 of Dumoulin had everything go wrong at Delaware, and then all of a sudden he pops up in the top 5 after qualifying here at Autodrome Montmagny, and it was like, wow, that's the run that this team needs to finish off 2025, and unfortunately, looks like something might be going south. But keep an eye on that, possibly have Todd look into that pit side and see what might be up with a driver who is in contention in the top 5 in the points championship coming into this race. There you can see the WeatherTech number 47 still ahead of Alex Gannett, but it's just a matter of time really before the number 39 gets around the 47 if things are in fact going south.
1 second you're tucking them in, the next your heart's racing.
The police are on their way.
Until you remember, you're protected.
Sparkling Ice Flavor Lab, Stella speaking. Help me choose a sparkling ice. Oh, mini cans. Perfect for school lunch if you have a kid. I could have a kid. Or some flavors are now available in a 6-pack, so no long-term commitments. The 6-pack sounds great.
Sparkling Ice, anything but subtle.
Oh, look at the 45 of Will LaRue there. He's found a little bit more pace compared to the 80 car, and I imagine he might try it around the outside.
And there you can see 2 drivers still battling with each other. That battle sort of falls off a little bit, and then it gets tighter as here we go now. Will LaRue and the XPN back to LaRue lowers number 45 to the outside of Donald Teach. That's a battle for second spot. On board with Alex Gannett in the Vet GRW number 39. Gannett currently sitting in 11th position.
Let's go to Todd Lewis there with the Pinty's Pit Report, and he's got an update on the 47. Todd?
Guys, yes, we'll give you a little bit up and down on the 47. Just checked in with the team. Everything is fine in the car. They got slowed down by the 0 car and had to get off the gas. They had others go by them. He is back on it now, but the car is fine. He was just navigating the traffic. That was the problem for Dumoulin.
And that's important to know. And thanks very much for finding that out, Todd, because it's something that you talked about. When you get into the lap traffic, it is so hard to navigate, and it could really cost you your race if you pick a wrong lane in one important moment.
Yeah, you can certainly just get trapped in and boxed out, and a whole freight train of cars go by you in the inside or the outside, and you've got nothing to do about it.
And that's exactly what it was. Andrew Ranger, Kingsbury, Corsol, DJ Kennington, they were all battling with each other in a line, so if the 47 got trapped, that whole line goes by, and all of a sudden the 47 is down in 10th. So good news for the driver out of Trois-Rivières, Quebec, as he looks to finish off his 2025 season on a high note. It does look like he has a little bit of speed left in that Dodge as he chases DJ Kennington, but your leader continues to work through lap traffic. Now Maxime Gauvreau in the number 97 slides to the outside, and Cameron will continue to click him off. We can tell you that Gauvreau is in 12th position. The next one up for the 96 is the 39 of Alex Gannett.
You can just see how well that car turns, the 96 of Cameron. He gets to the bottom of the track, and the car just really rotates so well, pivots, and then has so much drive off the corner. Tough to compete against a car that's handling so well like that.
Will LaRue in the 45 is about a 1/10 of a second off that lap time being laid down. As a matter of fact, that last time by Will LaRue is a little bit quicker than your race leader. So a 19.1 to a 19.2 for the 45, but Will LaRue is 2 seconds further back than the 96, so he desperately needs a caution to close that gap. and potentially have a shot at the race lead. But don't count out that driver just yet. Will LaRue looking for win number 2 in his career.
No, and the good news for all of us watching is there will be a caution. There'll be a mid-race break, and they're going to stack up and have a full double file restart. So very much looking forward to that.
And you saw the flash of the 45 go through your screen. Let's go pit side once again. Check in with Todd Lewis, who's got a Pinty's pit side update on the 45 of Will LaRue. Todd?
And it's a happy 45 team of Will LaRue, as you guys have documented, had himself a terrific run here last year with a runner-up finish, scored his first victory in the NASCAR Canada Series earlier this year. The team just told me he has not said a word on the radio. Absolutely quiet, focused on the task at hand. That car gets better and better over the long run, as we've seen through his brief career in the NASCAR Canada Series. Looks like he's on his way to another solid run today, but very quiet on the radio, very happy with the car.
And usually that's the case. When the driver is quiet, all is good. When they're talking to the crew a lot, they've got a lot of complaints that the car is not exactly how they want it. But for Will LaRue, happy noises mean no noises coming from the driver compartment of that 45. He's about a straightaway behind your race leader, as you can see Marc-Antoine Cameron working underneath Samuel Charland and the 0 of Glenn Stiers. Stiers has been out of the car just a little bit. As a matter of fact, he's been back in the sprint car. His track, the track that's built in his backyard at Ohsweken Speedway, just hosted the Northern Sprint Car Nationals, and just a wonderful event that was. Huge crowd of sprint cars there on the dirt track, and so Glenn Stiers goes from putting his promoter hat on to his race car driving hat on, and in some cases does it the same weekend. But it's good to see Glenn back in the GSR 0 here in the NASCAR Canada Series.
Yeah, there was a good shot. You could see how close the 96 was to coming up on the 39 there and the 47. Two cars that desperately do not want to go a lap down.
Quick flash of Matthew Shirley there in the 46. You saw the Crush It colors, the blue and yellow. He's in 16th spot. He's chasing Frederick Lattiser in the 3, but there is the 47 of LP Dumoulin. Has managed to slide back a little bit as Alex Cadet got by, but that is a very thick train of cars from Andrew Ranger back through Kingsbury, Coursault, Kennington, Gannett, and Dumoulin. They're all literally within striking distance of each other.
At Brugger's, tradition matters, and you can taste it. That's why we start with baked fresh New York-style bagels, then build the breakfast you crave. Find your big flavor breakfast at Brugger's Bagels.
It was different than anything I had experienced before, and it was really uncomfortable and really painful.
One small mistake means such a big difference in overall lap time. And again, when you have to make those passes up on the outside, maybe your car doesn't work that good out there. Maybe you've been painting that bottom stripe all afternoon long, and you go up and you try it, and wait a second, it doesn't work very well, and all of a sudden you've lost 3 or 4 tenths and momentum, and that's a big.
Yeah, again, look at how the closing speed of the 96 on the 47 of Dumoulin and the 39 of Gannett. He's right there. He'll be there in another lap or 2.
Yeah, so important to note that Cameron is now coming up to lap the 11th place car here in the XPN 250 and completes lap 100 as he does so. So 150 laps to go. And we're about 25 laps away from the midway break, and it'll happen on or around lap 125. It's up to NASCAR officials' discretion as to when they will be throwing that checkered flag for the midway break. But Cameron working all over that WeatherTech number 47 of LP Dumoulin. As you can see, Simon Dion-Vienne, the Duclos Chrysler 37. Great looking car, struggling with a little bit in the long run. He had a good qualifying effort inside the top 10. but has slid back in race trim here in the 37. He finished 13th here a year ago. Simon Zion-Vienne is well further adrift to that, currently running in 18th spot as he pops to the outside and lets the faster cars go through.
You can just see the 17 there of DJ Kennington. He's tried high, he's tried low for a number of laps, and he just can't seem to find his way around the 54.
Will the 96 catch Kennington before that halfway break? It is a possibility. I mean, we're still about 20 laps away potentially from that halfway break, and the speed at which the 96 is going, he could potentially put his nearest points rival a lap down, which would be enormous going into the halfway break.
Yeah, you know DJ's spotter is telling him, hey, if you can pass that 54, now is the time. Put another car between yourself and the 96 car.
It's a good little battle between Larry Jackson and Frederick Ladouceur. That's a battle for 14th and 15th. Both drivers a couple of laps down to your race leader. Or actually, I should say just one lap down to your race leader. But the Superior Propane number 84 is having a run that is much needed for Larry Jackson. He just needs to get out there and finish a race after a big heavy wreck at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park in Turn 8 and then engine problems at Delaware. Just seeing the checkered flag would be like a win to that team here today.
Yeah, and we didn't get to see the pass there, but the 17 is now by the 54.
So that's a big one. DJ Kennington up to 8th position, and he puts another car between himself and the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron, who continues to try and put cars a lap down, working on your 11th place driver, the WeatherTech.ca number 47 of LP Dumoulin. Dumoulin trying to battle back on the outside and stick with your championship leader. And you can see Gannett's not that much farther ahead, the Bet GRW number 39.
You can see the difference in line there. You catch a glimpse of the 45 of LaRue, and corner 1 and 2 he's on the bottom, but then corner 3 and 4 he's way up the racetrack, and looks like he is closing the gap a little bit on the 96.
He is. It's 0.4 of a second closer, as a matter of fact. So it's gone from over 2 seconds to now 1.6. That's not a huge difference, but for the spotter to relay that information to Will LaRue saying, you are catching the race leader, that helps the driver find that extra gear, just that extra little bit that he needs as Marc-Antoine Cameron comes into the tougher lap traffic, and it's really slowing his progress through this field. And take nothing away from those other cars. They don't want to go a lap down, so they're going to push and fight for every single inch on this track.
Oh, they certainly will. 39 does not want to go a lap down. And yeah, as you said with the 45 car and his spotter there, there's nothing better than when your spotter gets on the radio and says, hey, you're the fastest car on the track. That feels really good.
Keep doing what you're doing. As Cameron goes to the inside, you can see the 39 as we ride on board with Alex Gannett, the driver from Terrebonne, Quebec, just outside of Montreal, using that momentum on the high lane. As Gannett tries to avoid going a lap down, and looks like he won't be able to fight off too much longer, as the 96 just too much on the inside. And now Gannett will drop in behind and try and follow the 96 through to remain the first car one lap down. So in the event of a caution, he would get the free pass and back onto the lead lap. So that's another thing at play too. When you go a lap down, you don't want to just roll over and play dead, because you have the opportunity to get that lap back as soon as the caution does come out. Kennington battling with Kingsbury as he saw that shot flash by under a speed shot on the front straightaway. That's a battle for 7th position. Kennington in 8th, Kingsbury in 7th. So the message has been received by the Castrol Edge Dodge. DJ Kennington being told it is time to go with about 10 laps to go before we hit that halfway break.
Upgrade your ride with ADS suspension, fair brakes, Flowmaster, range technology, and more. Holly Off-Road is your ultimate destination for peak performance. Find all this and more at Holly.com.
The body that you have 90 days after you start is going to be the best body you've ever had in your life.
now you can see a good shot there. The 45 car is clearly in view and continuing to close the gap on the 96.
Yeah, 1.1 seconds, but the problem is there's about 4 cars in between himself and the race leader, so it's a matter of getting through this lap traffic. There you can see the number 83 of Martin Goulet Jr. is on the inside of the 47 of LP Dumoulin, so it is causing a little bit of a plug in that traffic for the 45 to get through, and it's costing him time. It cost him 0.4 of a second that lap alone.
Yeah, he's just going to have to be patient here. He knows that the break is coming. He knows that he has a good car, so I imagine he's fairly relaxed here, just trying to keep the car clean, getting through this traffic.
So LaRue managed to get around the 83 of Goulet. There's Matthew Shirley as well. Check back to see where Matthew Shirley is running. 16th spot after starting towards the back of the pack. He started in 20th, so not a bad run for the driver from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Kingsbury still holding on to that extreme outside lane, and you can see the longer we run on this green flag run, and we've been green since the drop of the green, that is important to note, but you can see how wide this track has become. Look at how far out some of these drivers are going in search of some grip.
Yeah, super wide track. I mean, look at the 54 drive all the way up. There's three car widths in between him and the 96. And now you see, again, maybe 4 laps, 5, 6, 7 laps to go until the break. You see DJ really pushing to try and pass that 9 car, because now DJ Kennington is the next car to go a lap down to the 96.
On board, Alex Gannett. There you can see the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron, the GM Paye Chevrolet just ahead as, again, he goes to the inside. Dave Courceau moves way up high in the CarQuest Auto Parts number 54. Trying to keep that car underneath him. We're a couple laps away potentially from the halfway break. And it looks like DJ Kennington has been caught by your race leader. Kennington still in that battle with Matthew Kingsbury. There is Marc-Antoine Cameron on the inside. And Cameron will want to sink this dagger in the back of his competitor if at all possible. Try and put DJ Kennington a lap down. But importantly, if he can put Kingsbury a lap down too before we go to the halfway break, that means Kennington won't be the first car a lap down. He will not get the free pass. I'm not sure it's going to happen. We're slowly running out of laps here before we get to that halfway break. 125 in. And again, it could come at any moment now. We'll keep an eye on the flag stand and the call for the halfway break. It's on or around lap 125, according to the drivers' meeting from the NASCAR Canada officials. And there is the halfway mark. Mike Charret, the official starter here in the NASCAR Canada Series. And we'll say it's on the halfway mark that we will go to break. So first caution here in the XPN 250, and it is for the halfway break. Your leader is the number 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron, who's doing everything he needs to do to become the first back-to-back champion in series history. We'll take a quick break. You've been watching the NASCAR Canada Series here on Rep TV. And the drivers have found their pit stalls as we get set to start the midway break, and the crews can go to work here on pit lane. But Marc-Antoine Cameron continues to lead the XPN 250, the final race of the 2025 NASCAR Canada Series season here on Rev TV. Let's hit pit side with another Pinty's Pit Road update and Todd Lewis. Todd?
We'll tell you that the waiting for the final cars to get into position and stop in their pit stalls. The NASCAR officials will then give the signal to the teams that they can begin work. If they start work in advance of that signal, they will be penalized. We're just waiting for the last couple of cars. There's the 3-car maneuvering their way into their pit stall right now. I checked in with a bunch of the teams at this halfway break. The 96 team of Marc-Antoine Cameron, as you can imagine, he has not requested any changes. He's not requested any changes to the car. Very happy with it right now, and they plan to change tires, fill them full of fuel first. The signal's been given now, and the teams are allowed to work on the cars, and then it will be right side tires for the 96 car. The 27 of Andrew Ranger still mathematically alive in the championship, but also bag battle ahead of them. They were going to tighten him up just a little bit. Checking in with the 80 car of Donald Teach, pretty happy with that car so far in the early going of this race, but they also are going to tighten him up just a little bit as we swing around to see the 80 car, and the team has gone to work to change those tires. Also in the 17 of DJ Kennington has been able to make some progress in the field, but they are going to throw the kitchen sink at it. They're probably going to change some wedge, a track bar adjustment. He has not been able to get through the corners to his satisfaction, as you saw with that 96 creeping up on the bumper as we got to the midway point. Big changes for the 17 in hopes of taking a big swing and still having a shot at that title.
Well, the shot's still there for DJ Kennington. He needs to pull a rabbit out of his hat in the final half of the XPN 250, but the work continuing on pit lane. As we mentioned, Marc-Antoine Cameron is your race leader. Will LaRue running in second, and Donald Teach currently in third. So as the work progresses on pit lane, we'll take the opportunity for another quick break. You are watching the NASCAR Canada Series on Rev TV.
J'ai maintenant les 9 pilotes sur le même tour de piste. Alors, 96, Marc-Antoine Camira, premier. Vous avez le top 5 au tableau. Camira, premier. 45, Julien Larue est deuxième. Numéro 80, Donald Teach en troisième place.
Welcome back to a beautiful setting here at Autodrome Montmagny as we continue under the halfway break. So we are under technically a red flag as the field gets stopped on pit lane. So the crews can go to work and make the adjustments needed. And one person who's been busy on pit lane, not a driver, but one of our crew members is Todd Lewis, and he's standing by with another Pinty's pit road update. Todd?
Doing my best to keep busy down here, Dave, and find out what's going on. The 96 team, we will update you, did make just a small handling adjustment to that car. Only 2 new tires, so they want to stay ahead of the curve and make sure that they are good for the end of the race, but generally very happy. Checked in with the 45 team of Will LaRue as well. Gas, tires, they're good to go. Again, very happy with that team and should be running second, as we mentioned earlier. That car seems to get stronger as the run goes on. They're hoping for good things at the end of this race as the cars are refiring to get set for the second half.
And I'm going to start to watch that 45 of Will LaRue a little bit closer now that he doesn't have that huge gap to make up to Marc-Antoine Cameron, which we should note that he did make up. He was over 2 seconds behind. He cut it down to about a second as they were fighting through lap traffic. So there is equal speed in that 45 as there is in the 96.
Yeah, this restart is really gonna tell. 45 so comfortable on the outside. He's gonna start on the outside, and he might make a lunge for the lead immediately.
This is points as they stand right now. Marc-Antoine Cameron came in 14 points to the good, so he's able to expand on that just a little bit. If the race was to end the way it is right now, DJ Kennington and Andrew Ranger, you can see they're still in a dogfight for second spot, but barring any catastrophe for the 96, and this was the case coming into this race, the championship was Marc-Antoine Cameron's to lose, and he's done everything he needs to do today. Just have a good, clean run.
Certainly. That is his MO, and that car has just been on rails. He's his team's given him a great car, and he's executed perfectly so far.
It'll be interesting to see what changes have an effect on the 17 of DJ Kennington. You might have heard Todd mention that the crew just said, let's try something to get this car to work a little bit better and keep from going a lap down. He was almost a lap down at the time that caution flew. He was struggling to get by the 9 of Matthew Kingsbury, running in 8th spot. DJ Kennington, 2nd in the overall championship as they run right now. Andrew Ranger in the 27, who's also mathematically alive coming into this one, is in 6th position. But again, Kevin Lacroix, another driver who's been posting some pretty quick times and has been able to sort of move his way up through the field, kind of came up against a roadblock because once he got up to 5th, it was about a 6-second gap to the race leader. So 5th was about as good as he was going to get until a caution flag flew. He's got that now, and he's going to line up behind the 36 of Alex Labay. So yeah, there are a lot of storylines here now. And again, just 2 general tires. How much did you save those left side tires? That's going to be a big question.
Yeah, that's a very good point, and we're in for a treat. We're in for a great restart here with those top 5 guys being so quick.
So we know the 96 is really good on a long run, the 45 really good on a long run as well. But how much will these other drivers like the changes that have been made to their cars? And we get set to get into the final half, and the aggression level is going to ramp up. It always does in the NASCAR Canada Series when you get into the second half of a race. You get to a break. A lot of drivers and crews will tell you at the start of the race, you say, what's your plan? They say, get to the break. We just want to find out what we have for the first half, and we'll get to the break. We'll address it. We'll make some changes. Second half is when they go racing.
Right. You cannot win the race in the first half. You can certainly win the race in the second half.
Yeah, it pays nothing to be the leader at the halfway break. We can tell you that much. As we ride on board with Dominic Scrivo, again, the battling for the Jostens Rookie of the Year Championship, which, according to our math, should have that pretty much locked up, as Dominic Scrivo getting a taste of some ovals for the first time here in 2025. And that's an important shot, too, because it shows you the driver needs to index that steering wheel and get it on so your wheels are pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, it's tricky sometimes with the oval cars here, just the way the car sits sometimes kind of funny, and there's nothing worse than heading out for a pace lap and your wheel is crooked.
That's just a driver comfortability thing. It means nothing for overall performance. It's just where you're comfortable hanging on with the spokes in the wheel. So you want to make sure that's straight. Dominic Scrivo taking that opportunity as the field stopped to get realigned down the back straightaway. Now you can see the caution is out. So the field once again trying to drum up some heat in their general tires. And it is interesting when you have a 2-tire stop, but you have a break like that, a 5-minute downtime. The general tires on the left sides do cool off a little bit. So whether or not they pop back up to where they were is always an unknown for these teams.
Yeah, and you just don't know how the car is going to react to that new set of tires. You've probably changed the stagger a little bit there. So yeah, you can see the 96, they were making some preemptive adjustments there, anticipating what the car might do with the new set of tires on the right side.
Full tanks of Gulf fuel in the backs of these NASCAR Canada Series cars. And yeah, sometimes you hear of drivers complaining of a bad set of tires. They're not a bad set of tires. It's just bad for the setup that they had in the car. The tires are absolutely fantastic. And we've seen the durability of these general tires that are brought each and every week to the NASCAR Canada Series. They really, really hold up very well. But we'll kick off the second half now of the XPN 250 in through the Pinty's restart zone, and we're back to green with Cameron leading LaRue.
Yeah, 96 got a great launch there. He's well clear of everyone now, and the 80 is now down to the inside, who is, historically very aggressive on these restarts, and he's clear now into P2.
Saw Kingsbury make contact with the 17 of DJ Kennington down the back straightaway. That's forced Kennington to back out of it a little bit on the outside, as he is now in that dice with the 39 of Alex Gannett. Now Teej to second, and Kevin Lacroix up inside the top 4 in that Napa Racing number 74. You can see it is so easy for these cars to make contact as you come out of the back straightaway, as the cars really slide all the way up to that wall. The driver on the outside doesn't want to get pinched, so they stand their ground and potentially get together. And now you can see them sorting out more or less single file through the top 10, as Cameron has a load of Donald Teej filling his rearview mirror. Hey, Kennington made the outside work around Alex Gannett. That's something in the 17.
Yeah, he's a little bit boxed in there behind the 9 right now.
For how much longer? You see the 9 move? Yeah, I think that was a bumper tag from the 17 of DJ Kennington saying, come on, it's time to get going.
Well, he knows he's got to get going, and he's got an ultra-aggressive guy but right behind him in the 39 as well.
A little tire rub from the Castrol Edge Dodge as a result of contact. But yeah, the kitchen sink seems to have worked, at least for now, for the driver from St. Thomas, Ontario, as Kennington is on the move once again. And he's sitting in 8th spot, so that's where he came in during the break. But now he's finally managed to get around the number 9, the Duro King Chevrolet of Matthew Kingsbury. Will LaRue chasing Marc-Antoine Cameron, and that is now for 2nd spot, as Donald Teej has snuck around your race leader. Teej, who was very, very good on the short runs at the start of the first half of this race, faded a little bit, but now again showing what kind of muscle he's got in that number 80 car. And that could have been his cards that he was playing. He's like, I just want to find out how good we are, and then I'm going to back off and I'm going to save it. That might have been the plan all along for Donald Teej. As we heard Todd mention, he was pretty happy with the car at the break, didn't make a lot of changes.
Yeah, time will tell. He's going to try and just, run away as fast as he can and try and get into the lap traffic and continue to eke out a bigger and bigger lead on the 45 car there.
0.7 of a second over Cameron and Will LaRue, who is now trying to get around the number 96, so Marc-Antoine Cameron. There is a good shot of your race leader, the driver of the Bois-Catel, Quebec, so he is very, very familiar with this track and this facility. After winning here in the late model countless times. And you can see all the characteristics of this track. There's a big bump as you enter into turn number 3 up on the outside. You can see the back end of that car just sort of flop down.
And you got some smoke out of the back of the 9.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like tire smoke either. It was under acceleration for the Duro King number 9. We'll keep an eye on that, but this is a battle now for 3rd spot. Kevin Lacroix has caught Will LaRue, and a reversal of fortunes from 2024. It was Will LaRue who caught Kevin Lacroix in that race. Now it's the 74 who is coming on strong and trying to get around the 45 of Will LaRue for 3rd spot. Keeping an eye on the back end of that Duro King number 9 of Matthew Kingsbury, and still smoke showing. Oh, that looks like rear end maybe.
Could be. He's also got a fender caved in there. I don't know. We'll see. Doesn't seem to be affecting the overall speed.
No, he seems to be working pretty well up on the outside as he tries to hold off a challenge from the BetGRW GL Electricity number 39 of Alex Gannett. That car is really trying to hang on to that outside group, but then he just pops right off the corner. And again, that momentum is huge when you're using that extremely high lane.
Yeah, you got a good shot there of DJ Kennington now with Andrew Ranger. He was working the bottom, but Ranger was able to hang tough on the outside. And DJ's now up on the outside as well.
And as we talked about it, some smoke continues to show from the back of Matthew Kingsbury. Let's head pit side. We have an update on that very car with Todd and a Pinchy's Pit Road update.
I'll give you that update on the 9 car. Matthew Kingsbury, he's been having power steering issues for all weekend, they said. It has gone poof, and that is the problem. He's got no power steering right now. And this is the remnants that we're seeing that Matthew Kingsbury is going to have to handle the rest of the way.
100 laps with no power steering around here.
He's in for a long day.
How big? He's going to get out and feel like Popeye with his forearms. They'll be throbbing for sure. But hey, that might be why he's jumped up to the outside, because you really don't have to pinch the car down that hard when you're way out there.
Yeah, he's gonna be doing whatever line he can survive with. Really, these cars are so tough to turn without the power steering. It's that's no fun at all.
Just so heavy, so much power too. It is a constant fight. So when you lose that little bit of technology that helps you wheel one of these NASCAR Canada Series cars, it does become a longer afternoon. As Donald Teach, again, he had opened up almost a second lead on second place, Marc-Antoine Cameron, and then that car, the 96, a little bit better on the longer run. And again, here we are. So Cameron has managed to catch the 80 of Donald Teach, stretch a gap on the 45 of Will LaRue, and we once again are about to have a battle for the lead.
Yeah, very similar to the opening stages of the race. The 80 had such good short run speed, and then the 96 car really comes alive. And then later on, the 45 car comes alive. So this one isn't over yet.
No, not for sure. Not by a long shot, as Will LaRue is about 1.1 seconds back. As now Cameron manages to get a nose underneath. Not clear, though, as the 80 able to drop to the inside. And we can tell you that the one driver who is out of this one, and the first car, unfortunately, out of the race, is the 97 of Maxime Gauvreau. So his day comes to an unfortunate end as he makes another start here in the NASCAR Canada Series. His best finish comes at Riverside, a 6th place back in 2024. So it sounds like it is an engine problem on the 97 of Maxime Gauvreau. So heartbreak for him here today as Cameron slides underneath and powers his way back into top spot. He stole away that inside groove that Donald Teach had been coveting for so many laps. And yeah, this is an exact replica from what we saw in the first half of the race as Cameron just easily maneuvers underneath the 80 of Donald Teach. We should say, too, very clean passes at the front of the field. There's been no beating and banging yet.
Yeah, I mean, you don't expect to see much. Being the last race, you don't expect to see much from the 96. In previous races, you do expect to see it from the 96, but, he just has to keep his nose clean here, and he certainly has the car to beat so far today. So, he's not going to take any chances in making contact, trying to get by the 80 there.
Kennington currently running in 7th spot, so it appears as though the changes have worked a little bit. He's still struggling to get by the 27 of Andrew Ranger, so I think he's willing to wait out the 27 and see if he has a better car in the longer run. But I'm impressed with the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. That car has come alive here in the second half as they work around the Sierra Excavating number 69 of Dominic Scrivo. The 45 is right on the back bumper of the 80 of Donald Teach, and you just miss the nose of the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. So it's a 3-car battle for second spot as Will LaRue pops to the outside, and all the while now Cameron 0.7 of a second out in front once again.
Yeah, LaRue sees Cameron driving away, and it's time for him to go. He has a better car than the 80 of Teach, and he's looking to the outside right now because he does not want to let the 96 car get too far out front.
The only caution we've had so far in the XPN 250 has been for the halfway break. This has been a drama-free race as far as any major incidents on the track, not even a spin at this point. As the 45 moves to the outside, and that's where we've seen Will LaRue be able to make up so much ground, and he's doing the same now on Donald Teach. And this has got to be frustrating for the Vulcane Gadawa Construction number 80 of Donald Teach. You know you have a good car, and even there you're working on the inside, and just a car pulls up, goes around on the outside, and you're like, what else can I do?
It just showcases how good that 45 car is, and it is really coming to life. We're going to see what he has for the 96 here in the next couple of laps.
And the 74 of Kevin Lacroix is now staring at the back bumper. The 80 of Donald Teach as they too chase the 45 of Will LaRue. Just in behind is Alex LeBay. DJ Kennington has managed to get around Andrew Ranger and is up to 6th position. So that does have point implications in the battle for second overall in the championship. So the 17 ahead of Andrew Ranger is good news for the 17 team, bad news for the 27 of Andrew Ranger. Let's head down pit side once again. Todd Lewis has got an update on the 74 of Kevin Lacroix with his Pinty's Pit Road update.
Yeah, we'll give you a little bit more on that 74 of Kevin Lacroix, who started in the 8th position and moved up a little bit in the first half of this race. Some more fine-tuning, some more adjustments in the second half of the race, and it's moving forward and finding himself battling for a podium position right now. Of course, Kevin had a great race here last year and is looking to finish the season strong. It has been such an up and down season for Kevin Lacroix. He's had good moments. He had the victory out west, but he has also had some very challenging and difficult races up in California and the CTMB on Labor Day, hoping for a strong finish to 2025 here at the Autodrome Montmagny.
That does mean a lot when you can get that strong finish at the final race of the year. It's a long off season, especially in Canada, and you just want to have that little skip in your step over the long winter and know that you can come back and attack 2026 strong.
Yeah, it certainly helps to have a great finish at the end of the year. I mean, regardless, all these guys, that's all they think about all winter. They're in the shop. They're trying to find some more speed all winter long.
Hang on, did you see DJ Kennington? He's right on the back bumper. There it is of Alex LeBay. So the 17 got around Andrew Ranger and is closed up. Look at that. You've got Donald Teach in 3rd spot, Lacroix, LeBay, Kennington, and even Ranger in that battle as well. Look at that gaggle of cars.
Yeah, looks like the 17 car, looks like he's happy with those changes. That car's really come alive. He's up in the 3rd groove, and he's going to have a huge run off of corner 4 here.
I'd love to find out from the crew chief on the 17 car, Rich Verburn, if the kitchen sink was, in fact, a massive change for everything. Like, what exactly does the kitchen sink entail? Because it has worked for the team out of St. Thomas, Ontario's DJ Kennington has gone from almost going a lap down to now contending for a potential podium position here at Autodrome Montmagny.
Yeah, he's a little bit stuck here, though, the 17 on the high side, and DJ's finding that line, that third line above him, but the door just gets closed on the outside on the front straightaway.
Nearly 3 wide, coming out of 4 onto the front chute. There's your race leader into heavy lap traffic again, as Simon Zion Vienne and the Duclos Chrysler number 37 trails the 96. So Marc-Antoine Cameron. Second place is the white nose car. There you see it, the yellow stripe on the front of the 45 of Will LaRue. So gives you an idea of how far back Will LaRue is on the timing and scoring. It's about 1.2 seconds. Samuel Charland in the Rousseau medals. XPN number 50 moves up to the outside and allows plenty of room for the leader to get by, and now it tries to diamond off to keep out in front of the 37. Yeah, what is the kitchen sink is the question we posed, and Todd Lewis went to work to try and find out exactly that. He's standing by with a Pinty's Pit Road update. Todd?
Well, we'll tell you. You ask and I'll get the answers, Dave. I checked in with Rick Verburn, the crew chief for DJ Kennington, and he said it was wedge and it was track bar. Some rather significant adjustments, but they're very happy it is working. They said they were going to make a big swing. It seems to be working so far. So a long way to go with this one, with about 75 laps. DJ Kennington is happier in that car.
Seems to be very happy. He's in a top 5 position now and chasing Alex Labbé. Trying to get around the 36 of Labbé. Donald Teach continues in 3rd spot as Kevin Lacroix has drifted back just a little bit. Andrew Ranger managed to get around the 74. So Lacroix going the opposite direction of DJ Kennington. So whatever changes they made on that Napa Racing quick strut number 74. And here we go. Wow. 3 wide as Labbé goes to the inside. DJ Kennington way up high. Donald Teach, the meat in that sandwich, and Kennington comes out on top. He's going to drag Ranger along with him.
This is the battle we want to see. This is awesome.
Holy moly. You can see Alex Labbé had to pinch it down because the spotter told him, you're 3 wide. That's going to end badly if you stay where you are. So he got a little loose, lost his drive, but DJ Kennington kept his foot in, and all of a sudden, the driver of the 17 is up to 3rd. We've got a championship battle on our hands. Notably, though, the 96 of Cameron has led a lap and has, at this point, borderline led the most laps. I don't think anybody else can lead as many laps as the 96 has right now. So bonus points going to the 96. You get 3 bonus points for a win, and so that could be the change. We know the 96, all he has to do is finish 10th or better no matter what DJ Kennington did. If Kennington had a blessed day and got all of the bonus points available, the 96 had to finish 10th or better. There's still a lot of racing left to go and a lot of lap traffic to get through, so who knows what can happen to the driver from St. Leonard d'Aston, Quebec, in the GM Paillet back number 96. So he still leads the championship as we run right now, but DJ Kennington up into 3rd.
Yeah, he's really closing the gap down. You can see the shot there. He's through the traffic. He's dragged Andrew Ranger all the way along with him on in that 3rd groove. But at this point, as far as the championship goes, DJ Kennington really needs to see an issue with the 96 car.
Well, it's funny because Andrew Ranger is generally a driver who loves the high lane. I've often referred to him as Captain Highliner because he'll go to a brand new track and he'll try the 3rd or 4th lane right away. He's the first one up there. DJ Kennington is not normally somebody who jumps up to that high groove very early. Normally drives that bottom lane like Marc-Antoine Cameron and does well at it. But now he's way up there with Ranger, and that car loves it. It's come to life for sure. So he's sitting in 3rd. He's about 2.3 seconds back, about 2 seconds back of 2nd place Will LaRue. So he's got a ways to go, hoping for a caution now It's the Castrol Edge Dodge of DJ Kennington, but it's been great. It's been great to see, you know, the 96 team really flex their muscle here in the final race of the season. Will LaRue showing exactly what we thought he would do. We knew that 45 car would be fast, but the storyline between the other two combatants in the championship, that's why they're championship contenders. They find a way to make their cars fast on any given day.
Was that the 47 brushing the wall there? Maybe.
Yeah, potentially just a little brush.
And it looks like the 27 has found a little bit of life. The 17 car just being so high, the 27 can still stay in a relatively high line, and he was peeking a nose in there on the last shot we saw, and he's now by DJ Kennington.
LP Dumoulin has fallen off just a little bit from where he was. Remember, he was solidly inside the top 10. Now down around 13th position as Ranger has managed to get around Kennington, and that is for the final podium position. So third place to Andrew Ranger as Kennington slides back, but just giving you an idea where the leader is lapping up to right now. Hats off, Larry Jackson, 12th spot. And again, he started towards the back of the pack in that Superior Propane number 84. And Christopher Bedard making his very first start in the 04 is just outside the top 10 in 11th position. So another late model driver getting a taste of the NASCAR Canada Series and seemingly loving it, sitting in 11th. We haven't seen too much of the 04 since the driver introductions on track earlier, but again, keeping his nose clean and just picking up positions as they come. So now what do you do if you're DJ Kennington in through lap traffic? There's just under 60 laps to go, so 57 to go here in the XPN 250, and we're going to go 3 wide down the back. Oh, no, we're not.
Yeah, no, the door was closed there by the 47.
Very dramatically across the nose of the 27 of Andrew Ranger, but look at the 3 lines as they're displayed in through turn number 4, and Ranger's not going to be happy with LP Dumoulin, who's already a lap down to the leader and still battling with Frederick Ladisser.
He got the message from his spotter, hey, these guys are up in the 3rd lane, they're above you.
And I think it wasn't going to end well if it kept up that much longer. It was going to be a little bit of the use of the chrome horn, as they say, and a reminder to the driver that we're trying to come through too. We've got a lead battle to chase, and that little hiccup in traffic has cost Andrew Ranger. We can tell you on the timing, it's about 0.4 of a second to Will LaRue, who's just a little bit ahead. So Will LaRue is not able to keep up the pace of the 96 as we thought he might be able to. As a matter of fact, he might have 2nd place in jeopardy pretty soon. But all the while, the laps continue to tick down. Very soon, we will be crossing over 50 laps to go here in the XPN 250 at Autodrome Montmagny on a beautiful Sunday as we cap off the 2025 NASCAR Canada season in style. I'm Dave Bradley. Joined with me in the booth is Gary Kloot. Todd Lewis is patrolling the pits for us trackside, and it's been a relatively clean affair. We've had no cautions other than the halfway break. And it's been a lot of Marc-Antoine Cameron at the front of the field. They had to fight back around the 80 car of Donald Teague at times, both in the first and second half, and comfortable again at the front. But Todd is standing by with an update on a driver who's made the long trek across the country. And let's check in once again with Todd Lewis with a Pinty's Pit Road update. Todd?
It was a big long trek for Matt Shirley to get here. Was supposed to run the Sunset race. It got canceled, but Matt has run here at the Autodrome Montmagny, but has stepped out of the car. Take me through what happened to you, Matt.
Well, the car's been actually running good. I got to thank DJ Kennington for the equipment and the piece that we had today. We were running really good at the beginning, and we started having some intermittent radio issues. And if anyone that runs NASCAR, runs any sort of stock car racing, when you're racing against the best of the world, best in Canada for sure, when you're going to put 3 wide and you're fighting for position with some of these guys, there's tens of thousands, $100,000 in these programs. At the end of the day, my day as a driver is bring this thing home peace. I'm gutted, I'd like to thank a big thanks to Crush It Hard IC from in Saskatoon. I hope we can do more of this because I'm absolutely gutted. Locally, that's 4 races in a row we've had radio issues. I'm choked.
Matt Shirley, unfortunately, out of this one early, but we're hoping to see him back much more in 2026.
Yeah, tough break for him. Again, a couple of top 10s in the Western Series races, both in Saskatoon and Edmonton, and hoping for much, much more here today. And was looking pretty good inside the top 15, but unfortunately has to pull the chute a little bit early here today. And a smart move, too. He's not in the championship hunt, and you don't want to put anybody else in danger or anybody else's season in danger as well.
No, it's a great point. It's hard. It's really hard when you're wheeling these cars around the track to be looking in the mirror instead of just listening to your spotter. So conservative, smart move from him.
There once again, your race leader, the 96 Marc-Antoine Cameron. There 45 laps to go the last time by. Will LaRue about 0.8 of a second further back. And then Andrew Ranger, DJ Kennington have linked up nose to tail. And they're about 2.3 seconds back. Alex Labbé is starting to come on stronger in the 36, so he's not too much farther behind DJ Kennington in 5th spot. Kevin Lacroix drifted back a little bit in 6th, so he's about 6.5 seconds back of your race leader.
But yeah, look at Will LaRue. He is closing the gap down little by little to the 96 here. You wonder how much he was saving there, and you know, his spotter or his crew chief telling him, hey, 40 laps to go, burn it to the ground.
Yep, it's a long winter to fix it, and that's what the crews will tell you at this point. Just get going, get that win if you can do it, and that's what Alex Labbé is trying to do as well. He started on pole with a brand new track record in the 36 and made a little bit of contact with the outside wall in that first it was probably the first 10 laps when he made contact with the backstretch wall, and car slid back a little bit. Halfway update, made some changes, and again, showing good rebound is the 36 of Alex Labbé as they work around Dave Coursol in the 54. Coursol is listed in 9th position. And yeah, so it appears as though Coursol is the first driver 1 lap down, as Kingsbury in the 9 is just ahead of your race leader in the 96. There you can see Marc-Antoine Cameron, and just ahead of him is the 37 of Simon Dion-Vienne, who's a couple laps down, but there is the Duro King number 9 of Matthew Kingsbury, who is set to go 1 lap down to your race leader. Keep in mind, Matthew Kingsbury is 8th right now. That's how fast Marc-Antoine Cameron is. Oh boy.
And he got held up by the 37 there. He gave him the bumper a little bit, and the 45 has really closed the gap now.
That's what I was just going to say. All of a sudden I look down and you see that bright orange wing, the tail of the 45 of Will LaRue, and he is right now making a race of it as Marc-Antoine Cameron got a little impatient with Simon Dion-Vienne, gave him a shove out of the way, and he needed to do that because 1 more lap and Will LaRue would have been right on top of the 96 already. He is there. The 9 is not going to lay over. He's not going to pull down to the inside of the front straightaway and let the leader go by. He's still on the lead lap. So Matthew Kingsbury is tucking to the inside, but now Cameron's got to get up off the bottom, and that car is still pretty good in that middle lane. I was going to say, he's been running the bottom all day. Well, how's that going to work on the outside? And yeah, a good car is a good car, no matter where you put it.
Yeah, you can see the 45 here now really trying. He was trying the outside lane there in 1 and 2. He's going to see if he can make the outside lane work, because if he can catch the 96, it's probably the spot he's going to have to pass him on.
Where he caught the 9 car, Will LaRue, and he had to go to the outside, it cost him about 0.2 of a second. So where you catch these cars is so important as you work through lap traffic, because it can really make or break a lap. If you can get in cleanly and you can get around, it is no problem. But if you do have to fight, you can watch that gap just form between you and the car in front of you. Marc-Antoine Cameron back into the sub-19 second laps ahead of Will LaRue's a 19 flat. So And Ranger is at a 19 flat. So as quick as the leader, so is TJ Kennington. All top 4.
Top 5.
Top 5.
Yeah.
Alex LeBay a 19 flat too. So yeah.
Top 6.
As they come
Everyone's
through.
on it.
It is time to go. 31 laps left to be completed here in the XPN 250 at Autodrome Montmagny. It has been a clean and green race right from the get-go. We've just had the one stoppage, and that is for the midway break. So all positions made up have been hard-fought positions on the racetrack. As we ride on board with Dominic Scrivo once again, working underneath the 50 of Sam Charland. Scrivo currently sitting in 19th position. 7 laps down, and he knows oval tracks are not his forte. So he's just out here, make some laps, gain some experience, and keep your nose clean. And that's exactly what Dominic Scrivo is doing here today. Let's go down pit side once again. Check in with Todd Lewis with another Pinty's Pit Road update. Todd?
Spoke with Robin McCluskey a short while ago, asking about the test at the 96 team here at the Autodrome Montmagny a few weeks back. He said, we didn't really learn anything specific about one part of the track or one part of the car, but what we did discover in talking with Mark is that it is all about compromise here. There are different bumps and different surfaces. You guys have talked about turn 3, turn 4. It doesn't have any banking when you come out, so it's a bit unique there. Turn 1 is very difficult in terms of entry. What they did find is that the best course of action is kind of a course of action of compromise. You're going to have to give up a little bit here and there to have as good a car as you can for long runs. It's working out really well for that 96 team today.
Yeah, I'd say, and look at Will LaRue has to cut through lap traffic. He's got Glenn Stiers in the Oswego Speedway 0 just up on the outside. Scrivo down low. He threaded the needle in the middle and is able to get through, and he needed to do that or else the 96 was going to be gone. But Will LaRue keeps his race win hopes alive now with 24 laps to go.
Yeah, back to clean sailing here. The 45 car, he lost 2/10 2 laps ago getting through traffic, and then another 10th on that last lap, but we'll see what he's got for pace here with clean air.
We can tell you that Andrew Ranger continues in 3rd spot, DJ Kennington in 4th, Alex LeBay in 5th, although Kennington is about 0.3 of a second back of Andrew Ranger, so not a done deal for the final podium position just yet between those two former teammates, Kennington and Ranger. But again, there he is, your race leader, as he continues to knife his way through lap traffic. And Cameron slides underneath Samuel Charland. Will LaRue just a little bit further back in the distance, but Will LaRue not able to use that outside lane that he loves so much and that car seems to work so well on because lap traffic is up there. So it's, again, Todd mentioned it's a matter of compromise and how you set up your car, but ultimately in the race, it's where that car will run best and if there's traffic there or not.
Yeah, just eyes glued to the lap times here. Cameron continues to be just a little bit faster than the 45.
Kennington is touch quicker, was a touch quicker. Ranger picked up the pace once again. Again, they're working through that heavier lap traffic. Now, interesting to note, the 80 of Donald Teach, who led some laps early in this run after the halfway break, that car has really fallen off. He's down in 7th position now, chasing the 74 of Kevin Lacroix just ahead of Matthew Kingsbury. As a matter of fact, he's gone a lap down to your race leader, I believe, Donald Teach. If you're wondering where he was and why he was not in the battle for the top 3 as these two cars are, it seems something is off on the 80 of Donald Teach, but we'll keep an eye on that for you. And we have a caution that is not a break. This is not a scheduled caution, but yellow flag flies, and that is going to stack the field for a restart with 18 laps left to go as we stand right now. The drama level is going to pick up here in the XPN 250 when we return We'll bring you back to the end here at Autodrome Montmagny. You're watching the NASCAR Canada Series on Rev TV. Welcome back to the XPN 250 on Rev TV, the final race of the 2025 NASCAR Canada Series season. And we're at a 3/8 of a mile oval just outside of Quebec City, and we are currently under caution, and we can tell you exactly why. We'll have another look at it at the top of your screen. And we'll get an opportunity to show you that replay, but we can tell you it was the 83 of Martin Goulet Jr. who went for a loop in a big cloud of smoke, as a matter of fact, in 3 and 4. And so that was the reason for the caution to restack the field. But the NASCAR Canada officials opting to throw the caution fairly quickly because the car was right crossways in the track. He managed to keep going. He grabbed a gear and kept going. So much smoke through there. So erring on the side of caution. But look to your left there. You can see the packed grandstands here at Autodrome Montmagny. The fans here in this neck of the woods outside of Quebec City, they love the NASCAR Canada Series.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's so good as a driver to see the fans, the stands fully packed. And there's the big loop, big smoke show. He kept his foot in it, and yeah, I can see why they threw the caution there. You see Larry Jackson dive into the bottom.
In through the Pinty's restart zone goes the race leaders, and we are back to green. And look at the jump the 27 of Andrew Ranger got. The inside lane went, the outside didn't go quite as good as DJ Kennington got boxed in behind. Will LaRue contact with your race leader. LaRue was right there, and Cameron didn't know it.
Oh, caution's out again. We're going to have another one.
Cautions breed cautions, as they say. But we almost had a caution involving your race leader. It was that close. Will LaRue was there, and Cameron came up thinking he had a clear track to clear up to the wall. He did not. If Will LaRue didn't back out, that 96 would have been crossways into the fence on the front stretch. Just goes to show you how much of a drive you can get on the outside here at this wonderful little speed plant with so many lanes to choose from for these drivers. But now under 10 laps to go when we get back to green, and look at them trying to keep that heat in those General tires as they swerve side to side.
Yeah, you want to keep all the debris off, all the marbles off the tires, keep them clean. You know, you're going to have an 8-lap or 5-lap or 7-lap shootout here. It'll be go time.
Alex Gannett, the driver, pulling up in front of the race leader. That's because he will be given the NASCAR free pass. So with the 1 to go, he'll be able to pass the pace car and tag back onto the tail of the field. So that'll leave 9 cars on the lead lap as we go back to green. There you can see a great shot of the NASCAR flagging official and the packed grandstand here at Autodrome Montmagny. But oh boy, are we setting up for a fun finish here for the 2025 season.
Yep, there goes Gannett. He's going to get his lap back. That means we are headed to the green flag.
Doubling up, and look who's lining up, nose to tail on the inside. It's the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron and a familiar foe in the 27 of Andrew Ranger. They have the same sponsorship. They are not teammates. As a matter of fact, each team wants to be the best Paillet race car on any given day, and they made significant contact at Delaware just last race. So keep an eye on those 2 Paillet-backed entries on the inside in this restart, as we will have 7 laps to go as they cross the stripe. In through the Pinty's restart zone we go, and we're back to green.
Oh, it looked like the 45 spun the tires a little bit there.
Side by side for second. Ranger will slide up. There's contact. I don't know if Will LaRue caught the wall, but definitely caught a door skin of the 27 of Andrew Ranger. Now LaRue trying to power along back into second spot, but Ranger throws it in an absolute ton. It slides up the racetrack, but Ranger to second spot.
Oh, and look at the 36. He's looking for the bottom.
This is exactly what Marc-Antoine Cameron wanted to see. It's just battling hard behind him. Now we're 3 wide coming onto the front chute. LeMay is down to the inside. He backs off just a little bit as that hole closes up in front of him.
Oh, and there he goes. Sneaks right by.
Oh, Ranger had to back out, and smartly so, as LaRue up on the outside. Now Ranger gets a tag from DJ Kennington.
Look at the 80. He's down below DJ Kennington.
This is a battle for second spot as Marc-Antoine Cameron continues to smile in his helmet. He is walking away to the race win here in the XPN 250 as LeBay grabs a handful of wheel down the back straightaway. Where did Donald Teach come from? He's in this mix. We were just talking about how much that car had fallen off, was running in 7th place, but lo and behold, now battling for a podium spot is Donald Teach. Contact with the 36. So it's Cameron, LaRue, still LeBay just by a hair in front of the 80 of Donald Teach as Teach goes to the inside. LeBay will use that outside lane. Cameron now 7/10 of a second ahead of Will LaRue as we hit the white flag. 1 more lap to go to settle a championship here in 2025. Down the back straightaway for the final time. There is your race leader, the red roof of the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron off of 4. Cameron is going to win the XPN 250 at Autodrome Montmagny, and with it, a back-to-back championship here in 2025. Cameron, LaRue, and Alex LeBay holds off Donald Teach by less than 2/10 of a second at the stripe. What a finish for the final podium spot, but the car who won it and the driver behind the wheel, too much for the rest of the field, and ultimately too much for the rest of the field in the 2025 season. A fist bump on the front straightaway, and there you can see the 2025 champion, Marc-Antoine Cameron, and notably the first one to ever do it back-to-back. That is such an enormous feat.
Yeah, and in dominant fashion too, really dominating this race, even with those late race restarts.
And we've talked about Marc-Antoine Cameron, and some of the negative press that has surrounded that 96 team over the course of this season. This race in particular, look at that car. There's not a mark on it. He did this all clean. There was no bump and runs. He made his passes without having to move other drivers, so he can hold his head high after this one and say, I did this one on plain speed, settings, and just straight up hustle.
Yeah, really dominant race here today, and a fairly dominant season, absolutely.
Will LaRue, hats off to him for a solid second, and Donald Teach, a solid rebound there, coming home in fourth. What a shakeup there after that last restart. DJ Kennington and Andrew Ranger were battling for the final podium spot. They finished in 5th and 6th. Gannett will come home in 8th. Kevin Lacroix fell right back to 9th spot in the 74. So, driver who was making his move forward, obviously something amiss after the halfway break for the 74.
And a solid top 10 for Dave Courceau there in the 54, and another solid finish for Larry Jackson. That's what he needed in 11th spot.
Oh man, that's going to be huge for the Larry Jackson team. Started way towards the back, and yeah, the Superior Propane Best Buy Rax.ca number 84 at 11th spot will feel like a win for that team after the last couple of races, and just scratching their head wondering what they could do to change their luck in 2025. But somebody who didn't need any luck here today is the driver who's chatting with the NASCAR official as they prepare victory lane, because it is going to be the start of a celebration. The driver from St. Leonard d'Astot, Quebec, Marc-Antoine Cameron, the winner here of the XPN 250 and the season champion here in 2025. And wait till you hear the crowd absolutely erupt when Cameron will jump out of this car.
Mike Capel here, Patriot Software's founder. My first successful startup was in the basement of a factory. But prior to that, I tried starting other businesses in my spare bedroom in the evenings. But the state of Ohio sent me a nice letter telling me that I couldn't operate a business out of my home. Thank you, bureaucrats. That's why I created Patriot Software, to help entrepreneurs follow payroll regulations so they don't get shut down by the government. That's patriotsoftware.com.
He's getting all the directions down the back straightaway, what he needs to do, and how many donuts he's able to do, because guaranteed there's going to be donuts. Again, they don't have to bring this one back next week. They have a long offseason to put it back together, and the GM Paillet Chevrolet team will do exactly that. They'll bring back another solid piece in 2026 and contend potentially 3-time championship. It opens up that conversation for 2026 for both Cameron and JC Paillet, team owner. Hats off to them as they always bring a fantastic hot rod to the NASCAR Canada Series. You know, once it's unloaded from the trailer, that is going to be one of the cars to beat, no matter what type of surface, no matter street course, road course, oval track. The 96 is going to be in there, and it's going to be a threat. There he goes, being released from the back straightaway.